Hello everyone. Welcome back to Rank Talks Ball for yet another Watchalong. Yes, I know it's been a while since we've done one here in the channel, but for good reason, because today the World Cup champions play, the back-to-back Copa America champions play. It's Argentina against Colombia for the World Cup qualifiers. Obviously, Argentina already qualified ever since the last window where we thrashed Brazil 4-1. We did a stream for that and my stream cut off for the last few minutes, but at least I got all the goals in. We're back for another one. I didn't do one for our last game away to Chile where we won 1-0, a goal from Julian Alvarez, a very good goal. Game which Argentina rotated, and that explains the scoreline, which wasn't that lopsided as some people may have expected. Chile, who after losing today against Bolivia, are the first team from CONMEBOL to be officially eliminated out of the World Cup, from CONMEBOL at least. And Colombia, who are coming in a really bad run of form. Their last win was against Chile, 4-0, back in October of last year. It's been a while since Colombia has even won a game in qualifiers. There's very little about this Colombia team compared to the one that lost in the Copa America final to Argentina back in June of 2024. It seems like they are really doubting themselves. There's infighting within the team, and yeah, they are really not doing that great. Nestor Lorenzo's job is even being questioned, and so I think that this is a huge game for Colombia. They have a lot to prove. We're gonna go over the lineups very quickly because we don't have much time before the game actually starts, but I'm super excited for the game and excited to be once more here with you, everyone in the chat, for this amazing game. Thank you so much everyone who's joining and sending their message already. Neon Lights, hello Albert, as always, thank you so much for joining. Karun, Crate, thank you so much for joining. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs, as always here. Thank you everyone who's joining. How do I feel about the Club World Cup coming up soon? Before this game, I was writing the script for my Club World Cup predictions. You will have my Club World Cup predictions with all of my thoughts on all of the teams. Then you will have a preview only about Boca Juniors and how I think we will do, and everything you need to know about Boca Juniors going into the Club World Cup. And after that, we will obviously do watch-alongs for as many of the Boca games that I'm able to see, because one of them actually catches me in school, and there's a chance that I actually have to narrate the Boca Juniors game at school. I believe it's the last game, the one against Auckland City, so it doesn't really matter. For against Benfica and against Bayern Munich, I should be here to make a stream. Those are the two most interesting games anyway. The last game against Auckland City, there's a chance that I'm not able to make a stream for that because I probably will have to commentate that myself at school. You know that I'm studying sports journalism, and so I have a course where I'm actually narrating games. I had to narrate the last 15 minutes of the last UCL final. That was a pretty exciting job that I had to do, and I think I did pretty well. I may have to do the same with Boca for that game against Auckland City. The rest of the games I should be able to be here to stream for you, and I should be able to stream some other games for you here in the channel. Checking in of the other CONMEBOL results. Uruguay is beating Venezuela 1-0. Goal from Aguirre, which is obviously great for Uruguay, putting themselves some distance against Venezuela over the direct qualification spot. And you know, Venezuela are still sitting in that intercontinental playoff spot, but they are only 1 point clear of Bolivia, so that could get pretty scary going into the final 2 match days, unless Venezuela can actually turn this around. And Colombia, obviously, with their result here against Argentina, could put some distance with Venezuela as well. They are currently on 21 points, only 3 points ahead of Venezuela as it stands. Let me read some of you guys' comments. Yes, mathematically Peru are still in it. We'll see if they can get a win tonight against Ecuador. Otherwise, Peru is also eliminated. A draw is not enough. They need to win at home against Ecuador, one of the best defense in the continent. They've only conceded 5, so it's looking tough for Peru. But until they're not mathematically out, we cannot say that they're out, you know. This should be a fun game. Yes, I think it will be a fun game. Argentina are coming in great form. Colombia aren't. That's something to take into consideration. Argentina is obviously the home team playing in the Estadio Monumental. I think that we are the favorites, but Colombia are still a great team, and so I think this should be very, very entertaining. You had a teacher from Peru. I think that he's not very pleased with how the national team is doing currently, but I hope Peru the best of luck, obviously. Yes, Colombia keep thinking about that 5-0 in 93. That was a crazy, crazy game. One of the best Colombian games in history, I would say. Boca wins 4-0 in the final against PSG, and cows can fly as well. When Rafinha made comments about Argentina, they got slapped. I wonder if fighting strikes twice. I think so. I mean, we remember that James had a podcast where he went on to say that Argentina basically won because of the referee. Those are not the words that he said, but he basically says that the referee gifted Argentina the Copa America in 2024 against Colombia, which I definitely don't think it's the case. I think that the officiating was alright in that final, and if anything it benefited Colombia more than Argentina, but that's just my opinion. But obviously I think that there's a chance that the Argentinian players take that to heart. I'll check on the other comments later on. For now, I need to check on that's not the right one. This is not the right one either, because there's no camera and there's no browser. For now, here you can see the lineups, but I need to fix my camera so that you can actually see me. I need to create another one. OBS is being like very funky ever since there's been an update there. There I am, I should say. Let me make myself smaller so you can actually see the teams. Argentina rocking with Emiliano Martinez in goal, obviously. Back four with Molina, Otamendi, who's coming back from suspension, and Cristian Romero, and Facundo Medina as the left back, replacing Tagliafico, who's suspended. No Valentin Barco, which I'm disappointed about, but Medina is obviously a decent player from loans, so we're gonna see how he does. Paredes is also returning from suspension, as well as Enzo Fernandez, joining the poll in the midfield. McAllister is not here because of fitness. Otherwise, I think that he would have been the starter ahead of Paredes, obviously completing that trio that won the World Cup. But Paredes is obviously an amazing player. Rumored to go to Boca Juniors. There's a really good chance, according to multiple sources, that Paredes is coming to Boca Juniors. I don't think in time for the Club World Cup, but after the Club World Cup, there's a chance that Leandro Paredes continues his career in Boca Juniors, the club where he obviously first debuted in. The front three, Messi's back in the starting 11. He got a few minutes against Chile, but this time again from the get-go. Thiago Almada, who I think is one of the most important players, one of the key appearances in the last time. Thiago Almada has made a splash in the national team, and so I expect to see a lot more from him. I'm super excited with how well he's developing. And Julian Alvarez as the striker, obviously. Meanwhile, on the side of Colombia, Kevin Mier, this goalkeeper that plays in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in Mexico, in Cruz Azul. Obviously, a bit of a surprise to not see Vargas, but Mier actually started against Peru in that game, made a huge save against Edison Flores to keep the deadlock in that game. So we'll have to see how he does. We see a back four with Daniel Munoz, Lucumí, Davinson Sanchez, and Machado. Machado starting ahead of Borja, who was the one who was usually starting in that side and was linking up very well with Luis Diaz. Now we see Machado instead, a bit more of a defensive left back, if you may say. The midfield, the three of Jefferson Lerma, Kevin Castaño, and Richard Rios. James Rodriguez in the number 10, and a two-striker formation with Luis Diaz on the left and Hamilton Campas, who plays his football in Rosario Central in the Argentinian league, so I'm quite familiar with him, on the right. So like no true striker here for Colombia, no, Duran, no, obviously no. Duran, he says, is out with a back injury. I didn't know that. I thought that Duran may have been available for this game. He was subbed out in halftime against Peru. John Cordova obviously out with a muscle injury. Neither Marino Inestrosa, who isn't really a striker. Luis Suarez is a striker, not the Luis Suarez from Uruguay, but another one. Those are the main ones that I would have chosen for the striker position. No John Arias is surprising. I think that John Arias is one of the best players for Colombia. Great for Fluminense. I think that heavily disrespected by Nestor Lorenzo. Not even starting in this position. Going with Campas, which I think it's a controversial choice, but we'll have to see how that gamble pays off for Colombia in this game. As we go back to the main. Oh shoot, my camera stopped. What the frick? Hold on. There we go. OBS likes to be funny sometimes when it comes to streaming, it seems, lately. Let's see, let's catch up with some of the comments that you guys were saying. Yeah, maybe the Peruvian teacher is actually the Pope. We do have a Peruvian Pope after Pope Francis from Argentina passed away, sadly. It was good while it lasted, having an Argentinian Pope. Historic, obviously. And we have a second Pope in a row from the Americas. Yesterday I was happy Malaysia won 4-0 against Vietnam, to the dismay of Maxwell. Shout out to Maxwell, obviously. Vietnam and the USMNT both not doing really good. USMNT, I think they play a friendly tonight against Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna be looking out for that. Yeah, it's more probably that Cal starts playing that Boca winning a match in the group space. Hey, we better beat Auckland City. That's all I'm saying. We better beat Auckland City. As an England fan, we look horrible. The players were sleepwalking too hell. We have walked into a kitchen of fire. Yes, England. Senegal is the first African team to defeat England, and they did so in England as well, which was extremely surprising. Not a great look from England, and they were using pretty much their main squad besides a few players. So yeah, not a great look from England if they want to be like one of the contenders of the next World Cup for sure. Atlético Grau from Peru. Yes, I've heard from them. I believe they played in the Copa Libertadores. Alright, great. See you later. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hello to Mats as well. What happened with Bolivia and Chile after the 61st minute? So, I don't know. Did Chile got a red card? Not much happened in the game. It was pretty boring. Chile couldn't attack. Bolivia didn't want to attack. Even then, they scored the second of a rebound from the keeper. So, yeah, not much to comment on that game. I think that it was obvious that Bolivia would win and that Chile would be out of playoff contention and World Cup contention as in general. The game is about to start. I have over here my meal, some empanadas, meat empanadas. Tonight's beer is gonna be Estrella de Galicia from Spain. Obviously not produced in Spain, but either way, one of my favorite beers. Not sponsored, by the way. I wish I had a sponsor, but I'm just saying it's a good beer. Support Inter Miami in a group with Al Ahly, Palmeiras and Porto. Obviously, I will also be rooting for Inter Miami mainly because of Messi. I don't think Inter Miami are gonna do that well, but you'll see that very soon. The members will probably see that tomorrow if I'm able to edit it very quickly, which will be my Club World Cup predictions, which I've already written the script for. I just have to record them tomorrow and possibly edit it and just upload it for the members. Remember, if you become a member, you have early access to all of my videos. If not, you can just wait 48 hours and the video will be out in public for absolutely everyone to watch for free. So I need to set up the clock ahead of the match. It's something that I had forgotten, because we're actually very close to the start of the game. Let's see. Ecuador in second place looks so cursed, but they actually deserve to be in second place. They had 3 points deducted and they are still in that position, which is super impressive. Amazing job from Ecuador, especially defensively. Offensively, they're not that great, but defensively, they are solid rock. Yes, Mats has a channel which is an English view on Porto. He supports Porto, and so he gives his analysis of how Porto is doing, and surely he will cover the Club World Cup extensively as well. Flamengo are too good not to be in the knockouts. They should make the knockouts in that group over Esperance de Tunis and Los Angeles FC, in my opinion. Let's open this bad boy over here. as the game is about to start. Cheers. Yes, LAFC getting the final spot at the Club World Cup over Club America after Club León was disqualified in a bit of controversial circumstances, obviously. It is what it is. Brazilian Fury, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, and good luck to you as well against La Alfaroneta. Paraguay are coming in strong. They are still undefeated, so it will be a huge test for Carlo Ancelotti and his boys after that debut against Ecuador. Let's see how Brazil can rebuild under Carleto. As the game is about to start, the whistle is blown. Argentina against Colombia underway at the Estadio Monumental for the World Cup qualifiers. Argentina already secured first place in the qualifiers 3 games early. Colombia trying to put some distance between them and Venezuela to not be scared about the intercontinental playoffs and qualify directly into the World Cup next window. Yeah, Paraguay are like Super Saiyan mode. They are flying right now. But it's the kind of test that Brazil have to put themselves up to if they want to challenge for the World Cup next year for sure. Yeah, it's super sad for James because he joined Club León and they got disqualified. We were going to see James Rodriguez at the Club World Cup, but it's not going to happen in the end. 15 pack of Budweiser bottles, that's crazy. But yeah, I think it's necessary if you're a Porto fan in this Club World Cup. You probably will need even more than that. 2-0 Argentina, yeah, I actually going to agree with that prediction actually. I think that should be the scoreline. We'll have to see Messi already getting fouled by Lerma. We see already some action for the Argentinian captain, the best player of all time. Is there a collab in the works between Chris and Mats about Palmeiras Porto? Yes, that's Friday stream. He will be a guest. Let's go. My boys will be looking forward to that then. Great pass from Messi, gets intercepted inside the box, but Messi is there to recover the ball. With a foul, says the ref. Oh, foul from Munoz. So it's going to be a free kick from Argentina. Yeah, I think that Messi wins the ball cleanly and then Munoz grabs Messi by the shoulder, and that's the foul that the referee is marking. Second foul on Messi in a bit over 2 minutes. Let's see, Messi with a cross. Cuti gets cleared away, but Argentina still has the ball. Thiago for Messi. Messi cuts inside, finds Thiago Almada. Great combination play, Messi! Just wide, but what an amazing play from Argentina. Thiago Almada and Messi linking up on the edge of the box. Amazing play from both of them. Messi cutting inside, finding Almada. And Almada first touch forward inside the box for Messi to break through. The shot from the number 10 is a bit too wide, and that's why this is a goal kick for Colombia, but amazing from Argentina already. That's yet another foul, this time on the pole. Another foul from Lerma, so he should already be... the referee should be keeping an eye on him. If there's another foul like that in the midfield, this one was a rough one on the pole as well. If there's another foul like that, it really should be a yellow card for Lerma. The best bet... Hold on, Colombia's on the attack. Great cross from Machado. Luis Diaz gets a touch on it. The ref says it's a goal kick, but Luis Diaz and the rest of Colombia are protesting that Cuti Romero is the one who actually cleared the way, and I think that the linesman is giving the right to Colombia, and it's gonna be a corner. Dangerous situation there for Colombia. I don't think Cuti touched it, but it's gonna be a corner either way. Played short. Can pass with the cross. Not being able to clear the way, and goes just wide. Now it's gonna be a goal kick. No, it's gonna be a second corner actually. Not letting up the pressure and not letting me read the comments as well. James with the cross. Cleared away by the pole. Once again, Colombia on the ball. Once again for James on the right. Cleared away by the pole once again. Like I was gonna say, I think that Japan are the best bet for a new World Cup winner as of now. They looked like the strongest team outside of Europe and South America. Morocco, even though they had an amazing run in 2022 and I don't discard them, they have declined. Colombia have declined massively, so as of now, Japan look like the best shot for sure. So we have more content from Chris coming up. If you are not following Brazilian Fury, I don't know what you're doing. You should definitely go follow him over here on YouTube, on Twitter. He plays FM. He has some banger tweets, so like everywhere you need to follow that guy. Yes, I can imagine that you're happy that Thiago Almada isn't in Botafogo anymore, because this guy is different. He's for sure gonna be in the 2026 World Cup, and I think that at this rate he's gonna become a starter for Argentina because he's been fantastic. Senegal winning the World Cup would be insane. Yeah, first World Cup for us. Anyone winning the World Cup for the very first time would be incredible. But if it would be someone like Senegal, actually, what am I saying? Portugal is probably the best bet for a first-time World Cup winner, if we're being honest, seeing how they did in the UEFA Nations League. Portugal is probably the best bet to be a new World Cup winner. But outside of Europe and South America, I would pick Japan. Senegal is a shout, but I don't think it's a very strong one. More Porto in English podcast members expected for Mats. Yeah, we see Uzbekistan and Jordan making their first ever World Cup. Venezuela are in the running, although I think they are still losing to Uruguay at the moment, but they are still in that intercontinental playoff spot. Peru are eliminated unless they defeat Ecuador tonight. Chile are already eliminated, and if Peru don't get a win, they are eliminated as well. Yeah, exactly. They are not mathematically out, they are out. I don't think they're making it, but they are not mathematically out unless they fail to pick up a win today against Ecuador at home. I'm like a whole minute behind. Well, that's why I have this sign over here which signs that no spoilers are allowed in the chat. If I see you spoiling, you're getting timed out. Don't comment on the game until after I react to it. Because that's the whole point of me reacting to the video, to the game, is that you guys are able to see my reaction. Argentina once again on the ball, and there's some space over here. Colombia has now retreated properly, and so we're gonna play this slowly apparently. The ball pushing forward. That is a bad pass from Romero, and so here come Colombia once again. But we recover the ball, and that's Emiliano Martinez on the ball. Earlier today, we also saw Palestine get eliminated from World Cup contention in shocking fashion. I don't know how the hell that was a penalty for Oman. In the last few minutes of stoppage time, Palestine were actually making the fourth round and keeping their dreams alive. And Oman got gifted a penalty for no reason. The guy just tripped and the ref signaled a penalty. VAR barely looked at it, and it was an equalizer, and Palestine with the draw ended up being eliminated from World Cup contention. Super duper sad and shocking, that decision, honestly, in that game. Yeah, it really looked like Palestine was gonna do it. They were 1-0 up, playing at home. Not at home, because we know what's happening in their home. They're playing in Jordan. Oman has a red card. It's the last few minutes of the game, and that happens. Like, it was shocking. So Matt, are you like rationing your Budweiser, so like to make sure you have enough for all games? Like, that's crazy. That's insane. To have your peers planned out to the detail. Thought on Malaysian naturalization players? I mean, a lot of countries do that. We see Indonesia do a similar thing. We see Saudi Arabia and the UAE do similar things. What can you do about it? Like, either FIFA makes rules against it, or we just accept that everyone can do it. It is what it is, just players being able to choose who they can represent. Molina with the cross, and after the deflection on Machado, that's going to be a corner for Argentina. Yeah, it's crazy. Portugal have no World Cup victory. They've been to the semi-finals a few times. They've never made a final. And before Cristiano Ronaldo, they didn't even have trophies. So it's incredible what Cristiano has done for Portugal and football in general. But yeah, after this UEFA Nations League, people will have to pay attention to this Portugal squad, because they're actually super talented. I don't trust Roberto Martinez, but with the squad they have, they are a contender for sure. Mier deflects the cross from Messi after the corner. The ball slips, and so here comes Luis Diaz on the right, on the left I mean. Let's see what Molina can do against Luis Diaz, who fires a shot. Easy save for Emiliano Martinez. Christian Pulisic is keeping out on the Gold Cup. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great look for the USMNT. Empty stadium as well against Switzerland. I mean, it's a friendly, but still. Yeah, I don't have high expectations for the USMNT in the Club World Cup, honestly. I mean, not in the Club World Cup, in the World Cup proper. Should Palestine appeal? I don't think there's anything to be done. It's just a shocking refereeing decision, but it's something we've seen many, many times before. Sergio Agüero. That's crazy. Ferrari, Ronaldo, Beckham, Agüero, Messi. Yeah, true. Indonesia just go crazy with the naturals. Molina, cross, into the box, gets deflected. And that's a foul from Paredes. On Campas. Yeah, China was naturalizing a lot of players too. Do you remember when China has this huge project with the Super League, bringing in foreign coaches, foreign players to try and raise their level, make a competitive national team? I thought that if China kept investing like that, they would win a World Cup by like 2050 or something. And they are so far away from that. Like, that project fell off a cliff. No, the USA won't get grouped, but only because they are the host, so they are guaranteed to have somewhat of an easier draw. And oh, that's an amazing pass. What a chance for Colombia. Oh, what a miss from Machado. That was an amazing breakthrough pass. Great breakthrough ball from James Rodriguez. Machado was completely alone on the left. The Argentinian defense got split in two and Machado received all alone on the left. He fires his shot over the crossbar and Argentina escaped. That was like the best chance of the game so far, and it was for Colombia. The USA won't get grouped because they will get an easier draw for being the host, for being pot 1, and top 3 even can advance. It will have to be a disaster. They have to finish bottom or like third with like 2 points for them to miss out on the next round. But I don't think they'll make it much further than the round of 32. Round of 16 even sounds like a stretch with how bad the US-17 is. Yeah, obviously Indonesia has connections to the Netherlands because of the Dutch East Indies. That's the colony they were. No, obviously USA is not even close to the best teams in the world. It's not even a contest. They're battling against middle of the pack teams and they're really struggling, so. Yeah, my video about the Copa Peru, that one did really well. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done. Crazy tournament. Julian Alvarez doesn't find a good pass, and so Colombia recover the ball. Chinese-Brazilians project. Yeah, with Oscar. There's a dog barking behind me. What the freak? There's a dog in the balcony. Not in my balcony, but in the balcony like right behind me. I'm sure you can hear it because it's just so loud, that dang dog. Pay to play academy, yeah, not a recipe for success. Unlike Argentina, who basically trains all the players for free ever since they're children, even on low resources, everyone gets to be a bowler, and we see the result. Yeah, I remember that Tevez came back to Boca, went to the Chinese Super League for a year, and then came back to Boca again. It was crazy. Hulk, Oscar, everyone. USA is already losing to Switzerland. That's crazy. The game started like a few minutes ago. No, Switzerland are mega underrated. I don't understand. Like, Switzerland have made the quarterfinals of the Euros twice in a row, defeating France and Italy in the round of 16, and nobody seems to notice. They've been making the round of 16 of the World Cup consistently, and yes, last time they got smashed by Portugal, but Switzerland are consistently a top 16 side in the world, and now apparently they are consistently top 8 in Europe. I don't know if they are top 8 in Europe, but consistently that's what they're showing. They have two great goalkeepers in Sommer and Kobel, an amazing defense, good attackers even with Embolo and all of the other guys. Switzerland are mega underrated. I agree with that. Yeah, Saudi is now the Chinese project. Yeah, the Copa Peru still exists, but It's not the same as it used to be. It used to grant you promotion directly into the first division, then it became the second when I made the video, and they already had plans to make it into the third division. And yeah, now it's basically just amateur football. Peruvian football has evolved a lot in that sense, but the Copa Peru still exists, and it's still a thing, and it still works exactly the same thing, except it doesn't qualify you to the same division if you win it. Yeah, I can see that Switzerland haven't really been good in qualifying and the Nations League and whatever. Still, I don't think they're a side to be underestimated ever. Great pass for Messi. Messi inside the box, dribbles past. That was an amazing play. Great play from Messi. Incredible. Finding Julian Alvarez inside the box. Julian pivots to Messi, who enters the box running. Dribble past a few players, but his touch was a bit too long, and it allowed Mier to come off his line to intercept. But Messi still wins the corner. However, the cross doesn't get anywhere. But Messi is playing a great game so far, drawing in fouls, creating play, finding the breakthrough passes, connecting with the other attackers. Julian! Great save from Mier. Medina to the front. Mier deflects again. And Argentina is now getting closer to a goal. After a few quiet minutes, I was gonna say that Argentina has the ball, but hasn't really done much with it outside of that early Messi play with Almada. And Colombia actually had the better opportunities, but now Argentina is really knocking on the door. Here comes a new pass for Messi, but the pass from the pole is a bit too long, and so it's gonna be a goal kick for Colombia. But Messi is showing why he's still so important to this team, creating most of the offensive threat. Julian Alvarez still looking amazing. Great shot and amazing save from Mier there to deny the Atletico Madrid striker. Almada is looking fresh. The pole is looking sharp. The team is looking great overall, but we need to keep creating opportunities like that. Keep up the pressure if we want to score. A few good chances aren't going to be enough against a Colombia team that still know how to defend. Yeah, USA already lost a friendly to Switzerland in the Berhalter era. To think that this season PSG won the Champions League, Spurs won the Europa League, and Chelsea won the Conference League. Imagine being Mauricio Pochettino after having coached all those three teams into nothingness, to see all of them win European glory in the same season, and meanwhile you're breaking it up in the USMNT. Imagine being Pochettino right now. Argentina really looking in control right now, after a few scares from Colombia and a bit of not being able to create chances. Messi is pushing the team forward, same as the ball, although the ball now gets dispossessed. And here comes Colombia on the counter-attack. This is Luis Diaz against Christian Romero. Luis Diaz cuts inside. Amazing play from Luis Diaz. What a goal. Oh my goodness. What a goal from Luis Diaz. Oh, I just jinxed the heck out of us. Argentina was looking in control. One bad touch from the pole, he gets dispossessed. Luis Diaz comes in the counter-attack, outpaces Molina, who was not there to cover on the right, faces Cuti Romero one-on-one, wins the duel, cuts inside, gets past the rest of the defense like it's nothing, Nobody dares to touch him because he's inside the box. And what a classy finish to the far post of Emiliano Martinez to score. Great solo goal from Luis Diaz, the Liverpool winger. Wow. What a goal from Lucho Diaz. Yeah, I'm sure you were waiting after seeing how behind I am. I'm sure you were waiting to react to that one. But what a goal from Lucho Diaz. Can't even be mad about it. Also a Liverpool player, so like... But Jesus, just when we were looking great, just when we were doing good, Luis Diaz with a fantastic solo goal, and Colombia are leading in Buenos Aires. Yeah, Croatia also battered another team after battering... they battered Gibraltar earlier, which was to be expected, but the Czechs I was not expecting. Croatia are looking big all of a sudden. Yeah, we had a good start, but that Luis Diaz goal, SSB, thank you so much for joining just in time to see Colombia score the first goal of the night. And here they come again, but that's an easy catch for Emi Martinez. So Diaz staying, man, I hope Diaz stays unless Barcelona gives us a ton of cash, but if Luis Diaz leaves, we have to get someone in the attack to replace him, I feel like. Get a good partner for... I mean, we're gonna have Birds, so that's gonna be the new partner in crime for Salah. Nah, Birds is an amazing signing. Like, it's the big name signing that Liverpool needed to make, the statement signing that we've been waiting for so long after not signing anybody last season, basically, besides Chiesa, who didn't even make an impact. Birds is the kind of signing we needed. If Luis Diaz is to depart, we'll have to see how we spend that money, but probably it's all invested on Birds already. But that's an amazing solo goal from Luis Diaz to open this game. Yeah, Mr. Krabs, just when we were looking in control, Luis Diaz goes ahead and does that, and just like that, Luis Diaz with 7 goals is the lone top scorer of the qualifiers right now, one ahead of Messi, who was tied with Messi before this in 6. Now Luis Diaz on 7, all alone, top of the charts. Yeah, it's a tight fight in the Peruvian League. Universitario are going to have a tough time defending the title. But Universitario actually made the round of 16 of the Copa Libertadores, which is fantastic. It's the first time in, I believe, like 12 years that a Peruvian team has made the knockouts of the Copa Libertadores. So historic for Universitario over there to get that done. They have a really tough schedule in the round of 16 against Palmeiras, but we'll see what Universitario can do and if they can defend the title in Peru as well. Yeah, the race in Brazil is also super tight. I saw Cruzeiro, Flamengo, Palmeiras, so many teams in the race. "2-0 to Switzerland already, jeez. How is the Uruguay-Venezuela game going? Yeah, Universitario Palmeiras, that's a tough one, I'm afraid. Tough draw. James was appearing all alone behind Facundo Medina, but Medina recovered quickly to be able to catch up with him. That's something I noticed. Palmeiras against other Brazilian teams or Boca, they don't perform. Against Minons, they absolutely smashed them, which explains how they completed a perfect group stage, this Libertadores. Ooh! Goal! No, disallowed for offside. Enzo Fernandez had equalized, but apparently it's disallowed for offside. Yeah, he's offside, yeah. It had been an equalizer from Messi, but Enzo Fernandez is the one who's offside after the bicycle kick from Julian Alvarez. My streaming is lagging a bit, which is annoying. I believe it has to do with the fact that I'm streaming myself, but let's see if it works better here. Yeah, it's super early in the title race in Brazil, and you already know it's gonna come down to the last match day. Because that's how it is in Brazil lately. Yeah, Abel not really great in those situations, but I think that Palmeiras has a really good chance in the Club World Cup. They should be, in my opinion, the best team from CONMEBOL. Yeah, I mean, Peruvians, it's either Alianza Lima or Universitario, really. Like, Sporting Cristal is also there, but the two main ones are Universitario and Alianza Lima as the big clubs in Peru. So it would make sense that the Peruvians, you know, are from that. Uruguay 2-0, yeah, it's over. I was expecting to join Michael Talks Football CONMEBOL Qualifiers review tomorrow to absolutely cook Uruguay and Colombia. And so far they are both getting statement wins, so yikes, it seems like we're gonna have to change our narrative. Portugal is your last hope once again. So we'll see if El Comandante can do something. El Bicho. Yeah, Atlético Rico Pollo from the Copa Peru was the team to look out. Personally, a fan of Atlético Saiyajin. The full Saiyajin suit, the training arc, like Vegeta, like that, fucking rules. That's my team in the Copa Peru. England got robbed of an equalizer. I saw that Bellingham had scored and it got disallowed by VAR. I need to check the replay afterwards. Yeah, Tuchel is gonna have to do a lot if England wanna be World Cup contenders in 2026, I think. With the squad they have, they definitely have a chance. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but England would not be one of my front runners to win the World Cup. They would definitely be in my top 8. They should make the quarters, but after that, I think anything's a win for England. Sport Recife really having a stinker there. Is Jude Bellingham the player Dele Alli would have become? And that's crazy. There are very few things in common that... I mean, there's more in common than you think between Jude Bellingham and Dele Alli, but they are miles away as players, I think. You take a quarters run and winning Euro 28, well, since you're hosting the Euros basically, I think that the aim should be to win the Euros, but winning the World Cup is always the dream, obviously. Yeah, but it's not like England is really relying on that aging talent, and Kane is still one of the best strikers in the world, so I don't think what's wrong with that. What do you mean, SSB? What do you have to deal with me? Tell me. It's about the eye test. I don't believe in the eye test. I believe in... The eye test is a fancy way to say my opinion. And the Yamal discussion. I believe Yamal is the best player in the world. I've said it. Lamine Yamal is still the best player in the world, and I would give him the Ballon d'Or no matter what. I don't care that PSG won the Champions League. Alright, Chris. Good luck in that game. I hope Paraguay wins. See you around. The ball with the cross, it's not deflected in time. Colombia are able to get it away eventually. Argentina are knocking on the door, but not really creating chances besides that disallowed goal for Messi. Whoever wins the Nations League should win the Ballon d'Or, sure. Actually true, give it to Vitinha. Why not give it to Vitinha, honestly? After he won the Nations League and the Champions League. Why not give it to Vitinha, honestly? Why not give it to Nuno Mendes? You think goals are more important than assists? Well, let's just give the Ballon d'Or based on who scores the most goals then. I think there's already a prize for that. It's called the Golden Shoe. Mbappe won it, if I'm not mistaken. There's already an award for most goals. The Ballon d'Or is the best player. And I think the best player is Yamal. And if not, it's Vitinha. And if not, it's Pedri. And you know, first goal for Colombia in Buenos Aires since 1997. That's crazy. Luis Diaz making history, literally. Yeah, Vitinha is a potential Ballon d'Or winner. Why not? I think he's the best midfielder in the world. Oh, Julian. Cut off just in time. That's going to be a corner for Argentina. It had been a great pass. Great control. Amazing cross from the pole for Julian Alvarez, his teammate at Atletico. But Davinson Sanchez just in time to intercept Julian and deflect that ball away to a corner. No, I don't think Dembele is in the conversation for Ballon d'Or, but personally I would not give the Ballon d'Or to Dembele because I don't think he's the best player in the world. Simple as. Anthony Ballon d'Or? Hell no. Anthony being the GOAT meme? Sure. Actual Ballon d'Or? No way. If the Ballon d'Or was more fair, give it to players playing in other positions. Well, we saw Rodri win a Ballon d'Or, which I already thought was a step in the right direction. People say Van Dijk in 2019 because there's not a better season from a defender, but Messi in 2019 was unstoppable. Literally a carry job. Messi was carrying Barcelona in a way that Virgil did not carry Liverpool. Is it really 4-0 Switzerland? What the fuck? Huh? Messi should have won it every year during his prime. Well, there were years where Cristiano was better than Messi. I don't deny that. I think that Messi should arguably have more Ballon d'Ors than what he has. But Cristiano was right there for a few years. And even had a few years where he deservedly won the Ballon d'Or. Ultimately, not even Messi cares about the Ballon d'Or enough. Not even he cares about it, and he's won 8 of them. It's really not that important. The Ballon d'Or is there to push narratives, and we know it. This is a team sport after all. What you win with your teams is what matters the most. But yeah, I think that the Ballon d'Or should be based off the eye test. And I hate using that term because the eye test is just a fancy way to say your opinion. I think that everyone just should just give their honest opinion about who they think is the best player in the world by actually looking at the games. You must look the games. You must be someone who constantly watches football at the highest level to vote at the Ballon d'Or. Journalists who don't watch the game and only watch statistics cannot vote on the Ballon d'Or. If the Ballon d'Or is chosen by statistics, then anyone is allowed to vote. Anyone should be allowed to vote because anyone can look up statistics online these days. The Ballon d'Or needs to be given to the best player in the world. Oh! Julian inside the box, dribbles about, cleared away, and it's going to be another corner for Argentina. We're still knocking on the door at the end of the first half. Football is all about narratives. Internet football is all about narratives. Football in the internet is about narratives, not football itself. Hello, Abdel Malek. Thank you so much for joining. Do my parents prefer Maradona or Messi? I think they honestly prefer Messi. And my father has seen both. I don't know as players. My mother doesn't really follow football that closely. My father is like a bigger Messi fan than me, you could say. And he's seen Maradona. He's watched every World Cup since '78. I'm not making the discussion black and white. I'm doing quite the opposite. I think that the Ballon d'Or should be a scale of gray. Actually, the opposite of black and white. Everyone should give their opinion, and everyone has a different opinion. There's not a right answer. There's no right or wrong to an opinion. Everyone has different opinions. And I think there should be like a conclusion reached about the opinions of many people about who the best player in the world is. Nothing in this world is black or white. It's only a scale of grays. Statistics are black and white. Someone has better statistics than others. But who is the better player is gray. Is an opinion. It's subjective. I think it's Yamal. It's kind of the opposite of black and white. I don't know who's better between USA and China at this point. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of true, especially for journalists. Like, journalists were like, Maradona is their god. For journalists, the ones that we see on TV every day, like, Maradona is their god, and Messi was a great player that couldn't live up to his potential until he won the World Cup, which was super unfair to me. And now that Messi's won the World Cup, he's entered the conversation. It's not even like clear. And I don't think it's clear either. I respect people who call Maradona the GOAT. It's not my GOAT, but I think that Maradona definitely has an argument to be the GOAT. I think that Maradona is probably the most skilled player we've ever seen. But like SSB was saying, it's a combination of things at the end of the day. Who would be your Ballon d'Or, SSB? Kevin Castaño shown a yellow card as we enter stoppage time. Argentina still trailing this game after that tough foul on Leandro Paredes. Potentially the last ball of the first half. Dembélé, fair. He's been one of the key pieces to a PSG team that won the treble. I think the most important player in PSG has been Vitinha, but I can definitely see an argument for Dembélé. I don't think he's the best player in the world. As simple as. I think that Yamal is better. You put Yamal in PSG, I think he does even better than Dembélé, but that's just me maybe. I think that Dembélé is a better finisher than Yamal. Yamal is not really a finisher, but Yamal's job at Barcelona is not to finish, is to create opportunities for Rafinha and Lewandowski, who both scored tons of goals thanks to Yamal. And when Yamal's needed to score a great goal, he's come up with brilliance. Stunners from outside the box every single time. Yamal most times doesn't need to show up for Barcelona besides creating an amazing play as the ref blows his whistle for halftime. Yamal for the most part is in the role of a creator, which is why he doesn't score as much. But when he needs to score, he scores. Vitinha is more influential, but Dembélé is better. Take a look at that sentence. Vitinha is more influential, but Dembélé is better. Because more goals equals better. I get it. Like, the objective of the game is to score goals. But what's more important, how you get to those goals or being the one who finishes the action? There's an argument to be made that both are as equally important. There are times, like here with Luis Diaz, that he basically made the entire play for himself. He created the play and he scored. There are times where Dembélé has done that. And there are times where he's been laid the goal in a silver platter, thanks to the actions of someone like Vitinha. I don't know, it's a never-ending discussion, but like, that's like a weird phrase. Like, Vitinha is more influential, but Dembélé is better. That just rubs me the wrong way for some reason. Yeah, I think that many people have Dembélé winning the Ballon d'Or, and I think that it's very likely that he actually wins it. You believe in ugly football? Fair enough. Tight 4-4-2 formation. Boot the ball away. Profit. Dembélé can dribble, he can pass the ball, he can create separation, kind of like Yamal. Yeah, I definitely see the discussion. Yashin crying in his grave, the only goalkeeper to win the Ballon d'Or. Busquets was the most pivotal player to Barcelona's dream team, but the fact that the attackers are always going to get the Ballon d'Or, and I believe attackers should always win it. Busquets was incredibly important to Barcelona during his prime. But can you look at me with a straight face and say that Busquets was more influential than Messi to Barcelona's success? I don't think so. Anyway, while we're waiting here for the second half, let's check in on the world. After goals from Aguirre and the Rascaeta, Uruguay is winning 2-0. It's already into stoppage time. Uruguay is finally gonna get another victory after that 3-2 thriller against Colombia all those months ago. Against Venezuela, who is gonna stay on 18 points, just 1 point clear of Bolivia in that intercontinental playoffs. And who gets to the playoffs will be determined on the final match day, as we also have Brazil and Paraguay kicking off. Paraguay with a point secure World Cup qualification. Brazil with a win secure World Cup qualification. And later tonight we're gonna have Peru against Ecuador as well. Peru have to win to stay alive. Ecuador with a point secure World Cup qualification. And Uruguay with this win are almost everything but almost guaranteed. They are 6 points clear of Venezuela with 6 points to play. And if we check on the rest of the world, because I'm getting... People are telling me that the USMNT is playing, but... It's rough times out there. 4-0! How are you losing 4-0 at halftime against Switzerland? Ndoye, Abeshir, Embolo, and Masambi, the goals for Switzerland. What's even the lineup? Matt Turner is in goal. And he's conceded 4. Arafstein, Mackenzie, Zimmerman, Harriel. I mean, what is that back line? Zimmerman and Mackenzie in Big Old 2025. Berhalter, like Sebastian Berhalter, the son of Greg, in the midfield with Johnny Cardoso from Betis. Both of the Aronson, Brendan and Paxton Aronson, alongside Quinn Sullivan and Brian White up front. What is this USMNT team? I don't think the USA are gonna look anything like this whenever the World Cup comes. But holy fuck, basically your B team is getting destroyed by Switzerland. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Not at all. It's also not a good look for Argentina to be losing to Colombia like this, when Colombia has been in such terrible form, but I think that we've actually played very decently and Colombia just hit one strike of brilliance with Luis Diaz. Yeah, it's a team sport at the end of the day. It is entertainment, but it's a sport. Alright, Mats. Take care of yourself. See you around. Matt Turner rumored to Lyon. He allows 4 goals. Brats. That's a statement, but I think that's what many USMNT YouTubers were saying as well, that the USA just has like no mentality, no grit, no passion for playing for the badge. Hopefully that changes come the World Cup, but if you're not taking this friendly seriously, like what kind of preparation are you going to have for the actual World Cup? That's the thing that stresses me out with the USMNT. If you don't take the game seriously now, by the time you take them seriously, it's going to be too late. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks for USA because this World Cup, I think, was a great opportunity for them to actually show to the world what they got and hopefully ignite some passion into the sport that is clearly not the the most popular. It could grow in popularity if the USA had a good run into the World Cup, but it's looking very, very unlikely. Yeah, the top guys don't seem to care. They don't even show up for these friendlies. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with England, honestly. No, there's many positions where England just doesn't have World Cup talent, world class talent. I mean, it's super hard to use Trent because it always feels like he's a liability playing at the back. So for any coach, I feel like it's a pain in the arse to play with Trent. You feel like, sure, I have a great defender, a great player when it comes to set pieces and pushing the ball forward and crossing. Offensively, I have a great player, but what about defending? How do I defend when I have Trent? I feel like it's such a tough position for every England manager at that point. Beards and Mac are gonna cook, Tofus. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. Thank you to Nino Vela as well. Vamos Colombia. Yeah, it was a fantastic goal from Luis Diaz. I think that Argentina was playing better up until then, but Colombia had a few chances as well, to be fair. Machado had that one-on-one opportunity. Luis Diaz got denied by the Cuti Romero before that. It's not like Argentina was running away with the game. Colombia had a few opportunities. Argentina began to grow into the game, responded. We weren't able to score. One mistake from the pole, and Colombia hit on the counter-attack, and Luis Diaz creates a moment of magic. And yeah, that explains the result. Vidal's son still sleeping. Yeah, Harry Sackman, thank you so much for joining, by the way. He deleted the tweet, by the way. He deleted the tweet where he said, "Rest easy, my sons. Daddy has work to do to qualify Chile to the World Cup." 2017, they failed to qualify in 2018. They failed to qualify in 2022. They failed to qualify in 2026. And he deletes the tweet. He's like, no more. He's not playing with Chile ever again, I think. His children are gonna be asleep forever. Yeah, and I don't think Tuchel even rates Trent like that. Which I think it's fair, honestly. I wouldn't trust Trent in my team either. Which is why I'm not exactly mad that he left Liverpool. As long as we can get a proper replacement at the back. Signing Wirtz is not enough. We need to sign defenders. Because who's going to play right back? Joe Gomez? No, I know. It's going to be Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley is an amazing right back. Are we going to have no backup for Bradley? Are we going to have still no backup for Van Dijk and Konate? We need to sign defenders. We need to sign defenders. Are we going to still be rocking with Robertson and Tsimikas? We need defenders. We need defenders. I have, the script that I finished writing before turning the stream on was my Club World Cup predictions, so that's coming. After my Club World Cup predictions, it's going to be a full-on preview about Boca Juniors before the Club World Cup, what to expect about Boca Juniors going into the Club World Cup. And after that, alongside with the streams for the Club World Cup, we're going to be doing more watch-alongs for the Club World Cup. Whatever gets chosen as the members videos is also going to be... actually, I need to check that poll, because I think I put it up a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. It only has one vote. Where are all my members at? Where are all my members up? All of the members, go vote on the poll to choose the topic of the video of the month of June. I need to see that. It's only one vote in. Members of the channel, I know Albert was here a bit ago. You guys need to go vote. Express yourselves about what you want to be the video for this month. It's only got one vote. That's disgraceful. That's a disgrace. You also should like this stream. Liking the stream and commenting helps with the algorithm. Helps it get it recommended to more people. So remember to like the stream. I don't know how many people have been live over here. I have 7 members as of now, and there's only one vote. We need to get those votes up. As we see a few substitutions, Rodrigo de Paul getting subbed out for Giuliano Simeone and Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez in for Nahuel Molina. Strange substitutions from Scaloni, but going really offensively, obviously. Potentially 3 at the back, if I had to guess, with Medina, Otamendi and Romero. We'll have to see. Would you let Big Ange manage Argentina? Hell no. As the ref blows his whistle for the second half, we are underway. Argentina are trailing 1-0 to Colombia. But we'll have to see what response can we find now with these substitutions. Giuliano Simeone and Nico Gonzalez, 2 offensive players, but that can obviously put up a lot of work defending as well. The Paul getting subbed out is surprising because he was having a really good game. Nahuel Molina subbed out. I think we are going into a back 3. Alright, Kabdemalek. See you around. Is Argentina as good as they were 3 years ago, or better or worse? I think we are just as good. I don't think we've gotten worse, although we just conceded the ball in a very awkward position. That's a bad shot from Luis Diaz. He is asking for a handball. But that's yet another chance for Colombia. I think we're just as good. I wouldn't feel confident saying that we're even better than what we were at the World Cup, but I don't think we're worse either. Thoughts on Franco Mastantuono from River Plate? Yeah, it's a bit too long, Mastantuono, and it's also like a mouthful to say. He's probably the best prospect we've got. 17-year-old, already proving himself in the Argentinian league, moving to Real Madrid for 50 million. 45 millions from the release clause plus installments. Amazing prospect. We'll have to see how Xabi Alonso has him in consideration for this season in Real Madrid. Amazing future. But we have to see how he develops. I don't want to hype him up that early. I think Mastantuono is even better than Echeverri, and I have high hopes for Echeverri as well, but he needs to get playing time. I don't think Manchester City right away was the move for him. As the same, I don't think Mastantuono to Real Madrid was the right move for him either, because I don't think he will start. Guller is ahead of him, but Mastantuono is gonna be up there as one of the stars of the future, I believe. But he really wanted that Real Madrid move. PSG also asked for him, but he rejected PSG in favor of Real Madrid. I wonder if Mastantuono is going to get any minutes. Apparently he's warming up on the bench. There's chance for him to see any minutes. He usually plays his games in this stadium, although not for long. After the Club World Cup, he's departing River Plate to go to Real Madrid, like we were saying. Argentina with the ball. But Messi is basically receiving the ball as a midfielder, not in a position to create much danger. Argentina is playing the ball side to side, trying to find a breakthrough, but Colombia is defending with a 4-4-2. At times it's a 4-5-1. Very, very solid at the back, Colombia at the moment, just waiting for Argentina to make a mistake. Here's Messi though. Giuliano Simeone on the side tries to find a pass, and that's going to be a throw-in for Argentina after it takes a deflection on Machado. But Argentina are knocking on the door and there's chances. Do you feel more confident for this World Cup than the one before or less? I think I feel more confident. Because at the last World Cup I was really afraid. I really thought Brazil were going to be a thorn in our side. I thought there was potential for some upsets too. This time around, Portugal is strong, Spain is strong, Germany is strong, France is strong. Even teams like the Netherlands and England are strong. But I think that unlike 2022, Argentina is going into the tournament as the best team in the world. Now, being the best team in the world doesn't guarantee that you are going to win the World Cup, because you still have to play perfectly against those teams. And you need to have 8 perfect games at the World Cup. And having 8 perfect games in a row is very, very difficult. So I don't feel confident saying that we're going to win the World Cup next year. But I think we are the best team in the world, and I'm confident in that. We do have to show it against Colombia now, because they have the ball right now. They have recovered it. Yeah, definitely playing with the 3 at the back. Simeone and Gonzalez basically playing as wing backs, trotting back to defend when Colombia has the ball and launching themselves forward with the fresh legs whenever we are attacking. Emi Martinez comes off his line, picks up the ball and plays with Giuliano Simeone instantly. Enzo Fernandez, can he find a good pass? Almada was looking like he was going to make a run, but Enzo never tried to play for it. Here's Messi playing towards the middle. Enzo, that's a bad pass from Enzo, but a quick recovery from Cristian Romero and Paredes. Messi once again, this time there's a bit more space. Simeone. That's a bad pass from Simeone. And so it's going to be a goal kick for Colombia. When was the last time a nation won back-to-back World Cups? That was Brazil, who won in 1958 with 18-year-old Pelé, and then won it again in 1962 in Chile. Garrincha had an amazing World Cup. That's the last time there's been a back-to-back World Cup winner, 58 and 62, Brazil. And before that, it was 34 and 38, Italy. Those are the only two times that a World Cup title has been defended. Argentina could for sure do history in 2026, but like I said, there are 48 teams. There's 8 perfect games that you need to play, and there are multiple teams that are super strong. One bad game, one slip up, one mistake, one curve of the ball, the wind blows the ball away, hits the post or something, and you're out on penalties or whatever. So like in the World Cup, anything can happen, and if anything can happen for 8 games in a row against the best teams in the world, it's very unlikely that Argentina go back to back, but I do think that we're the best team in the world and we have that going for us. It's time for Mastantuono. No sé, pa. ¿Se viene? Yo no me desesperaría todavía. No me apuraría. Está muy tirado atrás Colombia. Le estamos generando, pero marca muy bien. Yeah, Italy, actually what's funny is that Italy in 34 had 3 players that had played the World Cup final with Argentina in 1930. There's a famous quote from Luis Monti, one of the strikers, that said, in 1930 when I was playing with Argentina, if I had won, they would have killed me in Uruguay. And when I was playing for Italy, if I had lost, they would have killed me. But luckily for him, in Uruguay, he lost the World Cup final, and in Italy, he won the World Cup final. So his life was never in danger, but that's the funny part. He played 2 World Cup finals in a row with 2 different teams. And every time his life was threatened by one of the sides. Do Italians sound like Argentinians when they speak Spanish? I think there is something there. There's something there. I haven't seen many Italians actually speak Spanish, but there's something there. Like the tone of the Argentinian Spanish has a lot of similarities with Italian, and we also use some of the Italian slang as well. Well, this is a birra. Birra is the Italian word for beer, and we use it to call it that instead of the usual cerveza, which is the Spanish word for it. And that's no more birra for me. Yeah. 64 years, it's very, very unlikely. Like history has proven that, yeah. One bad day, one slip up, one wrong kick of the ball, and you're out. The World Cup is unforgiving in that regard. How many great teams, how many great players have we seen crumble in the biggest stage? So Hamilton Campas is being subbed out for Colombia, and the number 2 Roman is subbed in. So as striker slash winger subbed out for Colombia in favor of a defender. So I'm guessing that Lorenzo is shifting into a back 5 to hold on for the rest of the game. I don't know if that's the right approach, but we're gonna see how it pays off. Argentina has had a tough time breaking down Colombia so far. Saludin, thank you so much for joining. Let's see if Argentina can actually mount a comeback. We have the ball, and Colombia are bunkering down a bit too early for what I'd usually do, what I'd personally do. So I think we're gonna have opportunities. It's just a matter of how can we take those opportunities. Messi recovers the ball. Nope, but Thiago Almada is offside. Tuchel can work England into glory, perhaps. Perhaps they have the personnel to do it. Let's see, Argentina playing out from the back here. Get Mastantuono on, I need to scout. Thank you so much for joining, Hokage. We're gonna see, Mastantuono was warming up on the bench last time I saw him. He got some minutes against Chile. There's definitely potential for him to be subbed in if we need another spark of creativity. I wonder who would we even sub him up for? Potentially Almada? Or there's a chance he replaces Enzo? Messi if he's tired? Messi is not looking tired though. I think that Messi is the one who's pushing this attack forward so far. And I think that now that Colombia is defending so low, it's actually the perfect opportunity to have Messi on the pitch. He's not gonna be under pressure. Oh, Richard Rios! Great save from Emi Martinez. And once again, the Argentinian keeper, Roman, getting the second opportunity after the rebound from that long distance shot from Richard Rios. And this is going to be a corner for Colombia. We know how dangerous they can be on the set pieces. Colombia still generating danger despite getting more defenders onto the pitch. Oh, that's an easy catch on the cross for Emi Martinez. He plays quickly. No, he's not allowed to. Yeah, Messi has looked good this game. But what I'm happy about is that, like we saw against Chile and like we saw the last international window, Argentina looks great with and without Messi, which I think it's very important. I think that it's very important that there are games where Scaloni can start Messi and play it simple, and there can be games where maybe we don't start Messi at the World Cup and Messi comes in against tired legs later into the second half or whatever to be a difference maker. I think that that's very important, that the team in 2022, the team played great around Messi, but Messi was the key central piece to win that World Cup. and how Argentina played. Now Argentina play amazing without Messi, and Messi is just a great offensive output. And so I think it's very important that that's something that's happening with the Argentinian team. But this game is a game where I definitely want to have Messi on the pitch, because if Colombia is going to be defending so deep, we need to have him on. We need to have long distance shots, we need to have the set pieces, we need to have the breakthrough passes, we need everything that Messi can provide, and then the rest of the team needs to deliver. Yeah, I think Messi will be a starter at the next World Cup. But like I said, there can be situations in games where Scaloni may say, oh, Nico Gonzalez with the shot, great save from Mier, Nico Gonzalez down the middle, no! What a miss from Enzo Fernandez. Amazing chance from Nico Gonzalez, powerful shot. The free kick is taken quickly. Nico Gonzalez runs in behind the defense, fires a shot, first touch to defer to the near post of Mier. Mier makes the save, and then amazing from Nico Gonzalez to lay it off to the middle for Enzo Fernandez, who was coming on all alone. But Enzo just skies his shot. That should have been an easy goal for Enzo to score, but he sends it over the crossbar. But Argentina definitely knocking on the door. There's still 30 minutes to go in this game, and I wonder if Colombia are going to be able to hold on. Argentina are only looking better and better. Like I was saying, Grab, and like I was telling Hokage as well, I think Messi is going to be a starter at the World Cup. However, I can see Scaloni seeing situations where maybe he analyzes a team and he says, I don't need Messi from the get-go. I need Messi on the bench so he can come off the bench in the second half against tired legs, when he's not going to be under pressure. They're not going to test him physically, and he's going to have more free reign to cause damage to the enemy backline. Hokage, listen. I always said that guy was a fraud. I always said it. Pochettino and Simeone commit crimes against humanity. I've always said it. I don't rate the guy. I don't care that he's my countryman. I said it earlier on my stream. PSG won the Champions League. Spurs won the Europa League. Chelsea won the Conference League. All the former Pochettino clubs where he did absolutely jack shit have won silverware. And now he's breaking it at the USMNT, and he's gonna lead them to disaster at their own World Cup in their own backyard in Trump's land. I'm telling you, he's just a fraud. Yeah, maybe. Maybe if we have a lead to defend, Messi can come in to slow the pace of the game, hold up play, set pieces, counter-attack, whatever you needed. Or maybe Messi's a starter. We need to defend the lead. We need somewhere with fresh legs. Messi comes off. It doesn't matter. Messi can be subbed out because the team plays just as well without him. That's a great pass. Oh, he cleared away by Davinson Sanchez. Argentina is still on the ball. Simeone. Messi cutting inside. Medina. The ref was on the way. Foul! What foul? What is the ref seeing? What is the ref smoking? What kind of foul did he give? What? Okay, but we are knocking on the door. We still have 25 minutes to go this game, plus stoppage time. Yeah, I feel like against a physical team, having Messi from the start could be a mistake. But if that physical team is defending on a low block, we need Messi to break them down. So it's definitely a conundrum, and it's going to come down to the analysis of the coaching staff. Scaloni, Aymar, Samuel, Ashala, all of them have to put in work. So far we've done amazing with analyzing opponents and how they play. We saw it at the World Cup, how we were able to outcoach everyone, how we were able to expose the weaknesses of France and play Di Maria on the left, to expose Dembélé and Koundé. Those were the types of things we need. It's a decision that the coaching staff is going to make, but I don't think they feel forced to start Messi every game like before, and that's a relief. And I would love to see Messi play every game, but there are times where it would be best if he started on the bench. And he can still have a big impact. He's still a great player. He's still a great asset to this team. Especially now that we have a free kick. It's a bit far away, so it's not gonna be a direct free kick for Messi for sure. But if this cross is accurate, Messi tries to go for goal. Mier, no, hits the post. Messi actually tried to go for goal. Mier was caught off guard, had to track back, died for the save, and Nico Gonzalez arrived for the tap-in and hits the post. Messi didn't even get that on target, like the ball was going out, but Mier got spooked by Messi actually going for goal in that situation. Nico Gonzalez prioritized power over placement, and he ended up hitting the post from that close range. Pochettino is somehow worse than Berhalter. Shout out Armand. Yeah, the USMNT are just a complete mess right now. Yeah, the Finalissima is gonna be insane, I think. Really want to see that because it's been a while since we've actually played a European team again. We never schedule friendlies against European teams, which makes me mad. Apparently after the World Cup qualifiers we're going on tour to China, which makes me very mad. Because we know that the federation is going to use that money for nefarious stuff and not actually gifting more prizes to the players and investing in the league or whatever. No, they're investing into their own projects as always. Thiago Almada. That pass doesn't get through Lerma. And so here come Colombia on the counter-attack once again. That's a foul. Yep, that's a foul on Lerma. Free kick for Colombia. I'm not worried with how Argentina is playing. I think that we're actually playing a great game, and it's one spark of brilliance from Luis Diaz which explains why we're losing. It simply comes down to one moment of brilliance from Luis Diaz, because we've actually played a very, very good game and we've created some great goal scoring opportunities, but the problem is that even though we create those opportunities, what is Castaño doing? Everyone in Colombia is appealing for a card, but Castaño is like spasming or something. Red card! Enzo is sent off. What? Enzo is sent off. I want to see the replay again. I didn't really see what he's getting sent off for. There's something that the ref must have seen that we did not from up here for Enzo to get, and it took him until he saw Castaño for him to show that red card as well. So I don't think he is giving a red card for the foul, but more for the condition that Castaño is on. Oh! I mean, yeah. Yeah, Castaño gets the ball with a header and Enzo rises his foot a bit too high. Connects in the head. It was not a strong kick, but I can see that causing a cut. Yeah, Castaño is bleeding slightly, but yeah. And yeah, I think it's a fair red card. I hadn't seen it properly from up here, but yeah, that's a red card for Argentina. There we go. Down to 10 men without Enzo. Wonder if we're gonna see any substitutions to cover that space in the midfield, but down to 10 men, yeah, definitely more complicated now to mount a comeback. If it wasn't complicated already. How do you feel about birds? 150 is a lot for any player. It is a lot. It is more than I would have liked to spend, but I think it was important to get birds away from Man City, especially away from Bayern. And if Luis Diaz is gonna depart, we need a partner in crime for Salah. Now what Liverpool need to focus on is defenders. We're not gonna have Trent. Conor Bradley is a great right back. He needs someone to compete with. Joe Gomez cannot be the competition for Conor Bradley next season. We need to have another center back. If Konate or Van Dijk go down with an injury, we have nobody. Are we gonna rock up with Robertson and Tsimikas at left back once again? We need defenders. Beards is an amazing signing. It's the statement signing that Liverpool fans had been waiting for after signing fucking nobody last season. Chiesa, sure. We need defenders. Yeah, this is the type of mistake that cannot happen in a World Cup match. Same as the mistake that Cuti Romero made against Brazil. The only goal that Mateus Cunha scored that game. If that type of mistake happens at a World Cup, in a knockout game against a top team, you're going home. I don't care if you were the better team. You're going home if you make those mistakes. Here for Enzo, same for Cuti Romero before. If you make those mistakes, you're going home. Which is important that we take this game seriously. I think we are taking them seriously. I think that Argentina has played a great game so far. I'm not worried with the way that we are playing, with the way we are functioning, with the game that the team is flowing. We are creating good chances. We are solid at the back. One moment of brilliance from Luis Diaz changed the game. We have not been able to break them down, but here we come again. Cleared away in extremis by Davinson Sanchez. Colombia close to qualifying, yes, room. Colombia edging closer, just as Uruguay, to that World Cup qualification. Same as Paraguay, same as Ecuador, same as Brazil. It's really gonna come down to Venezuela and Bolivia for the intercontinental playoffs, it seems. Great pass from Messi for Julian Alvarez. The ball is a bit too wide. The control from Julian Alvarez is a bit too long after the great breakthrough pass from Messi. That was a good running behind from Julian Alvarez, but the control was a bit too long, and so it's gonna be a goal kick for Colombia. Yeah, the Luis Diaz money has to be spent at defense, for sure. If we get a good chunk of money out of Barcelona or whoever, it needs to go into the defense. No excuses. The defense is going to be our downfall. Ezequiel Palacios and Juan Foyth are going to be the substitutions for Argentina. No Mastantuono. So Facundo Medina is going to be subbed out for Foyth. So basically just a change, small adjustment in the defense in the back three. And then I wonder who's Palacios replacing. Sure, he's coming in to fill that gap in the midfield for Enzo, but who is Scaloni taking out? No foul. Giuliano Simeone on the right, pushing forward, winning. That pass from Giuliano. Almada Messi inside the box. Messi, the shot takes a deflection and is cleared away by Colombia. Argentina is still keeping up the pressure, even down to 10 men. Romero, Julian, Messi, man marked by 2 men. Almada, Messi again. Messi for Giuliano. Simeone, what can he do? Messi inside the box. Cleared away. How far can Colombia go in the World Cup quarterfinal run, maybe? Colombia were in awful form. This is their first win since October if they get it. But it will be a huge statement win to win against Argentina on the road. Colombia definitely have the personnel to make it far into the World Cup, but the way that they've been playing suggests that they are not really making it far. My early prediction would be round of 16. Round of 32, round of 16, depending on the draw. Messi subbed out. Messi subbed out. He gave the captain armband to Otamendi. Ezequiel Palacios in to fill in the gap in the midfield. Shocking, because this is the kind of game that I would like to see Messi on, but I understand, because when you're down to 10 men, you need those 10 men to run, and if Messi is not running and pressing, we're never getting the ball back in time. So we need fresh legs, so I understand the substitution. Foyt in for Medina, that is a bit of a weird one, because it's not like Medina was doing anything wrong, and it's not like we needed changes in the defense. But I guess maybe just more fresh legs. It's been a while since we've seen Foyt actually play a game for Argentina. Romanis shown a yellow card for Colombia, but the Argentinian players seem to think that there was an elbow on Romero and it probably should have been a red card. I haven't seen the replay yet. For now, Romanis shown a yellow card. So nice to see Venezuela and Bolivia fighting for 7th place. Peru and Chile stick too long. 2 aging players, Guerrero, Pizarro. Pizarro is not even playing anymore, but yeah, sure. Vidal and Sanchez for Chile, yeah. Why have they been so bad since the Copa America? They have no striker, because John Cordova is not that good, and Duran went to Saudi and let the main character get to him. Everything, all the hype that was around Duran got to his head, and now he spends more time rolling in the floor and fighting with journalists than actually playing football. There's infighting between the players and Lorenzo. They don't agree with what the coach tells them. Some of the players don't play like they do for club. Daniel Munoz doesn't seem like the same Daniel Munoz that plays for Crystal Palace. Everything that Colombia does is at the rhythm of James, and James is looking slow. Defensively, Davinson Sanchez and Jerry Mina sometimes are liabilities. Jerry Mina is not playing now, and Davinson Sanchez is actually solid. Palacios with the cross, cleared away. Everything went downhill for Colombia, and after that I think it was just mentality. Winning is a habit, but losing is a habit as well. Once you get used to it, you feel like you can never win again, and I feel like that must have stung to Colombia. But right now they're getting a taste of a win once again, and they're 10 minutes away from it. One moment of brilliance from Luis Diaz was all they needed. Almada! ¡Gol! ¡Thiago! ¡Gol! Thiago Almada once again! ¡Vamos! ¡Vamos! Down to 10 men, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. No Messi, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The new kid on the block is Thiago Almada. Thiago Almada is the new kid on the block. 9 games for Argentina, 4 goals already. Add a goal contribution from last game with that assist for Julian Alvarez. Thiago Almada inside the box, finds enough space to fire a shot to the far post of Mier. Beats the keeper, and with 10 minutes to go, Argentina has equalized. and they're seen fighting between the players. Lucumí was down inside the box, but Argentina played the throwing anyway. Thiago Almada receives the ball outside the box, dribbles past the player, finds space inside the box to fire his shot to the far post, beats Mier, and it's 1-0. Great goal from Thiago Almada, but now there's controversy because the Colombia players consider that the game should have been stopped because Lucumí was down inside the box. But play on, says the ref. And I think it's the right call. Colombia was just trying to time waste. Lucumí is just fine. Magically, Lucumí is just fine. So you can see that he was only trying to time waste. And so it's 1-0. Still 8 minutes to play for. Let's see if Colombia actually go for the result now. If teams were settled for the draw, or if Argentina will keep pushing even being down to 10 men. Alvarez is playing, yeah. What do I expect out of the Wirtz deal? I expect a new partner in crime for Salah. And I expect us, if we sell Luis Diaz, to actually sign more defenders. We need defenders. Vamos, 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 vamos. Colombia now has the ball though. Cleared away by Nico Gonzalez, playing wing back. Yeah, Vietnam got destroyed. Shout out to Magwell. But Malaysia getting a huge win to qualify for the Asian Cup. Yeah, Colombia against Bolivia and Venezuela, but that Bolivia game is at home, so Bolivia at home is 3 guaranteed points for Colombia, and Venezuela away may be tricky, but at that point it may be a bit too late. By that point it may be a bit too late. I think that by the time that Venezuela-Colombia game rolls around, I think that Venezuela won't actually have a chance to qualify directly to the World Cup. Because if Colombia wins that game against Bolivia, like, it's all over. Great save from Emi Martinez. I mean, it wasn't a difficult save, to be fair, on John Arias. Finally, John Arias getting some minutes for Colombia again, the player from Fluminense. I think that he's definitely undervalued by Nestor Lorenzo. Finds a good shot, but it goes right down the middle, so it's an easy catch for Emi Martinez. Let's see if we have time to get another one and turn this game around. It would be a statement, but it definitely seems like we're taking it a bit slower now. Although here comes Argentina once again. Giuliano Simeone gets dispossessed. No, that's not a foul from Foyt. I don't agree with that. That didn't seem like a foul from Foyt, but anyway, it's a free kick for Colombia. Arias, Otamendi wins the ball. No foul. The game is getting scrappy. Now that is a foul and it's a free kick for Colombia. There's another brawl incoming. No. Gets stopped by the referee and Colombia play on again. Great game from Argentina all around. Even being down to 10 men, we dominated the actions. We found the equalizer. But now is the true test because Colombia are actually on the ball. Yes, I'm doing watch-alongs for Boca at the Club World Cup, especially the Benfica and the Bayern game. There's a chance that it won't be here at home for the Auckland City game. Even then, I think that that's like the least interesting game. But I definitely will be here for the 2 games between Boca Juniors and the European sides. To my dismay, some may say, but I will be here. And there's more Club World Cup content coming up as well. Oh, what a great pass. Oh! Richard Rios had the opportunity to win it for Colombia right there. Great play from Luis Diaz on the left once again. Creating space from himself, cutting inside, getting that cross for Richard Rios. Perfect placement. And hits the post with the header. Argentina escaping by the skin of her teeth. Carrascal and yet another foul. It seems like so many consecutive fouls from Argentina right now to stop the play from Colombia. It seems like after we found the equalizer, we're not finding our footing in the game, and now that Colombia are actually going for the game, we don't know how to stop them with the man advantage. It's hard to compare both cycles, and I think that the defeats we got, it's because against Uruguay we got found out, against Colombia and against Paraguay we got unlucky, I feel like. John Arias with the cross, cleared away. Vinicius Jr. finally showed up for Brazil. How's that game? Is it 1-0 Brazil against Paraguay? Is the unbeaten streak of Alfaro finally coming to an end? Vinicius seems to only show up against Paraguay these days. Same as in the Copa America. Nico Gonzalez, Emi Martinez. There's pressure from 4 Colombians inside their own box, but let's see if this actually gives us space to make a counter-attack. Julian Alvarez. Nico Gonzalez is running in behind, but Julian is going to play for himself. Now Nico Gonzalez on the edge of the box. Here's a cross, cleared away by Davinson Sanchez. And now the counter-attack is for Colombia. End-to-end game. Great from Leandro Paredes to deactivate that counter-attack. Last few minutes of the game, we're gonna see how much stoppage time there actually is. Valerdi, so we're getting another defender on the pitch. Colombia on the ball. Here's Luis Diaz once again, facing up against Giuliano. Luis Diaz dispossessed by Giuliano Simeone, but it's gonna be a corner. Foyt was the one to tap the ball out for a corner. No, yeah, Paredes is not allowed to continue, it seems. I think that Valerdi is gonna come on for Paredes. Oh, Thiago Almada subbed out. Thiago Almada subbed out for Valerdi, so I think we're going back to a back 4. And Nico Gonzalez and Giuliano Simeone are allowed to play further up for this final few minutes. 5 extra minutes of stoppage time. John Arias with the corner for Colombia. The cross gets cleared away easily. Do you think there's much correlation between qualifiers and how a team performs at the World Cup? No. No. I think that it's definitely important. The qualifiers show how strong a team is, but how you perform at the World Cup can have like many different variances, because there can be injuries, there can be problems unexpected at the World Cup. Some teams can overperform, some teams can underperform at the tournament. It's a short tournament. It may be longer now, but it's still a short tournament. Oh, that's a great ball. Cleared away at the last moment by the Argentinian defense, and it's going to be a free kick, says the ref. Foul from Muñoz on Nico Gonzalez. The qualifiers give you a good idea of who the best team is, but at the World Cup you need to perform right there and then, and you have no second chances. And I think there are so much variance that not always the best team in qualifiers performs best at the World Cup, and we've seen it many times. Three minutes to go. Free kick for Argentina inside our own box, as tensions are still rising between the players. We knew it was going to be a heated match between the two teams that fought for the Copa America last year. There was so much talk. Both of these teams feel the passion. So no wonder there's actually some fighting. I wonder if the ref is gonna add another extra minute because of the time that's been lost, or if the 5 minutes of stoppage time we got are what we have. Emi Martinez plays long, 2 minutes to play for unless we have an extra minute added. Colombia recovers the ball, and here comes the counter-attack. No, because that's a great interception. Nico Gonzalez now playing for Julian Alvarez. Julian is a bit too open to the left, and he gets dispossessed, and now it's a foul for Colombia. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get another extra minute. I think this is the one we got. Last minute and 20 seconds of the game. Then Colombia on the ball, building up from the back. Muñoz pushing forward, plays it long. It's not gonna get it, and so this is gonna be an easy catch for Emi Martinez. Let's see what Argentina can do with what I expect to be the last ball of the game. Can we find a last minute winner? Down to 10 men. Would be an amazing comeback if we manage it, but even then we're still guaranteed to be first place in the qualifiers, and I still think we played a fantastic game against one of the best teams in the continent, at least on paper. Not worried at all with this performance. See, Julian Alvarez picks up the ball. It gets cleared away by the Colombian defense. Do we have time to actually make this throw in? We don't seem desperate to actually play for it. Is this the last ball of the game? Is the ref gonna allow it? Let's see. Yeah, it seems like we just want the game to end. We just want to drain the clock out. Colombia clears the ball away. Yep, that's the end of the game. Argentina and Colombia have tied 1-1 here at the Estadio Monumental. Very exciting and thrilling game. Lots of tension between the players. There's still a few exchanges of words between the players of the two sides. Luis Diaz with a fantastic solo goal in the first half gave Colombia the lead when it seemed like Argentina was knocking on the door. Enzo Fernandez was sent off around the 70th minute, making things more complicated for Argentina, but that's when Thiago Almada showed up to find the equalizer that leaves the score 1-1. Argentina guaranteed top of the qualifiers, 10 points clear of Ecuador, waiting for what they will do against Peru. That game has already begun in Lima. And obviously, Colombia are now 4 points clear of Venezuela, which is huge for them, thinking that they have their next game at home against Bolivia. So if they can win that, Colombia will be guaranteed a spot in the next World Cup. Uruguay is super close to qualifying to the World Cup, same as Paraguay. Brazil, with this win that they're getting, goal by Vinicius Jr., 1-0 over Paraguay. With this win, Brazil is qualifying to the World Cup. And if Ecuador were to get any result away to Peru, they would qualify to the World Cup as well. And if Peru doesn't win, they would be eliminated from World Cup contention as well. So that's everything that's at stake right now, as the rest of the games keep on finishing. It's been 1-1 here in the Estadio Monumental. Colombia is still winless since October, where they beat Chile 4-0. So another frustration for Colombia once again. But at least they can be confident that they'll be going to the World Cup as long as they beat Bolivia at home, which should be easy, you'd expect. And Argentina not only going to the World Cup, but finishing in first place no matter what. So that's been the game. Honestly, if I have to give my thoughts, I think that we played a fantastic game. We created many chances. We weren't able to score many of them, which was disappointing. At times it felt like we were having trouble breaking down Colombia's low block, which was disappointing. I would have liked us to create more opportunities like that. But in the end, I think that we played a great game against one of the best teams in the world, at least on paper, squad-wise. They only had one real good chance, and that was the goal that Luis Diaz scored. They did have an opportunity with Machado earlier into the first half that he skied over the crossbar, but besides that, it was only the brilliant goal from Luis Diaz that it was an amazing solo play that gave Colombia anything in this game. Otherwise, I think that it would have been an easy win for Argentina. But in the end, I'm not disappointed with the result. I mean, I would have liked to win, especially at home. But like I said, this is mostly preparation for the World Cup, and I think that in that regard, we've learned a lot. We played some fantastic football. The team still feels dynamic and flows very well with and without Messi, which I'm happy to see. And defensively, I think we look solid besides those two opportunities that we gave to Colombia. So I'm not really feeling worried for the future. There's things to improve, sure. But I think that overall Argentina has once again proven that we are a fair team to be reckoned with. And even down to 10 men, we managed to find that equalizer, which was fantastic. Yeah, Colombia needed the 3 points to be comfortable, but even then, with this draw, a win to Bolivia now it's enough. Win at home against Bolivia, so Colombia should be more than fine. Yeah, Brazil is winning against Paraguay, and they are qualifying to the World Cup as well. Kind of sad to see more engagement from Argentina after the red card. I know they were already qualified, but I'd like to see a bit more fire at home. I also don't know how well Almada and Messi can play at the same time to similar function. We barely see any of him when Messi was there. Well, early into the first half, they linked up well for one play. Messi drifted inside, cut inside to the edge of the box. He found Thiago Almada, and Almada gave the ball back to Messi inside the box. It was a nice combination play. Then the shot from Messi was a bit too wide, but that was a nice time where they both connected and linked up. So if we could see more of that, I think that there's definitely potential for Almada and Messi to play together. But I can see your point. I can definitely see your point. They cannot play similar roles in a way. Yeah, everyone hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched, everyone who's left their comments. Yeah, Richard Rios was hitting right there. Yeah, Mario, like it was a tough game, but we managed to pull through. Happy with the performance, not so happy with the result, and I feel like we should have scored more goals, we should have created more opportunities, but overall I think that Colombia, after going 1-0 up, they bunkered down, they made things difficult for us, and even then we managed to find an equalizer down to 10 men, so I think that it was fantastic overall. Hey Crate, you joined just in time for the send-off. I was just giving my thoughts. Overall, not worried with the game. The level of the team still looks fantastic. The team looks dynamic, flows well with and without Messi. Feeling confident. And the fact that we found an equalizer even being down to 10 men speaks a lot about the character of the team and how well we play as a unit. Being able to break down Colombia like that when they bunker down was good stuff. And if it wasn't for that great solo goal from Luis Diaz, we would have won this game. So I think, yeah, they tried to park the bus way too early. I don't know. I don't agree with that from Lorenzo. Like at the 60th minute, 55th minute, he was already with the 5 defenders, 4 midfielders. Like it was really parking the bus whatsoever. I mean, yeah, Enzo with the red card, you shouldn't make those mistakes. A mistake, they were commenting on that on the chat. A mistake like that in the World Cup, in a knockout game, and you go home. So like those type of mistakes, we need to stay focused to stay away from them, because those are the type of mistakes that you are not allowed to make at the World Cup. Yeah, Almada was man of the match, especially because of that goal, but even before that he was creating so much threat. Anyway, thank you so much to everyone who's joined. Vladislav, Crate, Albert, Vladislav, MR, Mario, Mr. Crab, Mats, Grav, Harris, Patrick, Shroom, Hokage, 24K, everyone, Arman, Crystal Encore, Saludin, Ramon, SSV, everyone. Malek, everyone who joined the stream, who left a comment, who left a like, who left a view. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow I will record and probably upload my Club World Cup predictions. They will be out for the YouTube members, and 48 hours after that for everyone to see for free. After that, a preview for Boca Juniors at the Club World Cup, and after that, watch-alongs. Boca Juniors against Benfica is the first one. Massive game for Boca if we want to have any chances of making it to the round of 16. We're gonna be here. So a lot of content coming your way. Remember to stay subscribed. The YouTube members vote on the most recent poll to choose the next video of the month of June. Lot of content coming your way, so make sure to subscribe on your way out. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be seeing you really soon for the Club World Cup. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all